And it reads, Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or even thou hast formed the earth, and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Amen. You may be seated. Amen. I thank God this morning for his goodness, all that he continues to do. Man, we serve an awesome God. Amen. And I thank him that his mercy endured through all generations. But I do also know that we are living in a time. It's a time that we don't hear a lot of good news. You know. But there is good news. I didn't say there wasn't no good news. I just said we don't hear a lot of good news. But I know that God is still leading his people. And God is still faithful to his word. The 90th division of Psalms, I started looking at this morning, and I've seen something in it that kind of spoke to this time I believe that we are living in. You know, it's something where right in the midst of all of this chaos, God is still moving. God is still saving. God is still keeping. God is still delivering. You know, sometimes, man, we have good days and sometimes the days are not so good. But he still said, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. And I believe that he knew about these days that we were going to have that were good in our eyesight and other days that we didn't think were so good. We all got trials and tribulations that we're going to have to go through. This thing is bugging me for a minute. We all got circumstances. We all got growing. And we still have to do. I want to encourage us this morning to know that God is still God. Yeah. He is. I don't care what goes on or how it goes on. God is still God. And he still has sitting high above the heaven. In other words, I'm saying that because nothing is going that he doesn't see. God sees what's going on. Don't think for a moment he don't see. Don't think for a moment that he has forgotten his people. Because then his word wouldn't be true. But he said, I'll never leave thee, nor forsake thee. This you can boldly say. The Lord is my help, and I shall not fear. I want to share something with us this morning. I'm not going to be before you long if it's the Lord's will. The 90th division, he said, Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. We are not the first generation. We're just generations of many generations. And the people of God have been dwelling in him through generations. Why are you saying that, Pastor? Because I want them to know that what they're going through is not isolated. Us falling sometimes is not isolated. Us suffering is not isolated. And the things that happen in this world, they're not isolated. They ain't just start happening in this age. They've been happening. What you talking about, Pat? Here's a good example for you. Maybe I ought to put it this way. Sometimes we think about death. And we look at people dying around us. And it really hits home when it's somebody that in our family, right? Or somebody that's real close to us. Somebody that we know. Or some horrific thing that takes place. But right in the midst of that, don't you know that there's still more people being born than dying? We don't think about the fact that as folks are leaving here, God is still having more folks come. In other words, I'm saying that even in the darkness, there's still light. But it's important to be able to see the light. It's hard to see it sometimes, especially if you're in a dark place yourself. He said they dwell in all generations. We ain't the first one. Before the mountains were brought forth, wherever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. So before the mountains were even brought forth, he said in the beginning the earth was void and without form. So in other words, there was no mountain, because the earth itself didn't have no form to it. But even before that, saying that God existed. Why is that important? It's important because let's not get short-sighted in how we see things. Let's not just be in the moment and then judge everything by the moment. But know that there's something more that's going on than just what's in the moment. There's a God that's everlasting to everlasting. In other words, if he kept them back then, he can keep us now. Anybody hear me this morning? Amen. And here's the other thing. If it didn't work back then, it ain't going to work now either. Sometimes we doing stuff we don't realize that's already been tried. It's already been tried. It didn't work for them, and it ain't going to work for us. But there is a way. That's an excellent way. It's a right way. It's a way that's in it is salvation. Jesus was trying to show them that. You read that for the scripture reading in St. John, the 14th chapter. But he really was trying to show them and show us that even in their confusion, even in them not understanding that they really knew something that they did not know that they knew, because it was right in front of them. They just couldn't see it. Talking about Thomas now. But he told Thomas, I am the way. In other words, he was letting him know that where I'm going, you know, and the way, you know. You know where it is. What you talking about, Pastor? Man, sometimes we do stuff, we know it ain't right when we do it. We know it ain't the right time to do it. But we get ourselves get in the way. Oh, I gotta just talk to myself. I gotta talk to myself. We get ourselves in stuff. Somebody go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. You get that for me? 1 Corinthians 9 and 27.
1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, the 27th verse. The word of our living God reads, but I keep under my body.
Paul is saying this. This is what I'm talking. This is what I'm trying to share with us this morning. This is, Paul said he keep under his body. What is he talking about? In other words, he's saying that I'm not going to let this body rule me. I'm not going to let it tell me what we're going to do. I'm not going to let it, what you say about the body, just this frame. No, I'm talking about the emotion that's in man. I'm talking about the mindset that's in man. I'm talking about the things that's in man that takes him off track from following this word. I'm talking about them things that he think that he knows, but he don't know. Come on.
Bring it under subjection. Into subjection.
And he take his body, keep on his body, but he bring his body into subjection. Them same things, that thought, that mindset, that heart, those ways, I bring them under subjection. Under subjection to what? To this word. To this word. Because this word is right. And it's right all by itself. But if you don't know this word, like the other day, I was visiting with a brother. And we got to talk. And he shared something with me and showed me something. And when you do know something about doing a thing, this was about planting and gardening. You know somebody that know how to plant and garden something and grow something? They know how to do it. I'm talking about somebody know how to do it. But they didn't just learn it overnight. They had to go through some trials and tribulations. They had to be taught, first of all. Somebody had to teach them. Somewhere along the line, somebody had to teach them. And then they had to experience some things on how to grow it, and how to get the weeds out, and how to get a yield or a harvest out of it. And then they had to keep doing this thing over a period of time to find out if I do A, B, C, D, I get the result that I'm looking for. How do I know it? Because I can see it now. I did the work. See, I walked by faith doing it, but now I can see it. So that's why I said, hope that is seen it, not hope. See, if I already see it, I ain't hoping in that because that's already there, right? So I know that this works. I've tried it. And it's been proven. It's been proven that it works. And it works every time. Yeah. Sometimes you're gonna still get a harvest. Sometimes if the elements work better, you might get a greater harvest. But either way, you're gonna get a harvest. And somebody else can come along and see them do it. Say, I can do that too. Then they go out and try to do what they see them doing. But they're not really seeing everything they're doing. They really just seeing the results of what they did. And they judging it off of the results. And so they say, I can do it. But the thing of it is, what they haven't done is, they haven't gone back and found out how did they do what they did. What you talking about, Pastor? I'm really not talking about that conversation that I had with the brother and exactly what we were talking about. I'm talking about this right here. This right here has a promise to it. And what he said he would do, he will do. But sometimes we don't see it because we ain't did it the way he said to do it. And we ain't took the time to learn and to have patience and to be thankful and to walk by faith and not by sight and to be obedient to what his word has said. Y'all hear me this morning? Amen. We can make our way harder or we can make our way easier. Amen. Choice is ours. That's our choice. I'm going to show you something. You finish that?
It says, that's that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should get canceled.
Look, Paul was saying something. He's saying, what I told them and what I gave them was right. It was right. It was good word. Ever give somebody some counsel, advice? Oh, it's good advice. Oh, you know it was good. Sometimes it flow out of you, surprise you that you said it. Boy, that was real good. That was a good word right there. That was good. You know, sometimes you can surprise yourself. You know, man, that was good. Now, that was good. I know where that had to come from. But But that same thing you gave them that was good, you don't follow. And the same thing that you told them that would happen if they didn't follow it, it happens to you. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Maybe I'm just preaching to myself. I mean, it happened to you. And then when it happened to you, you say, man, why did that happen? And God started opening up your eyes because you didn't do what you said. You said it. It was good for others. What you forgot to internalize was it was good for you too. You didn't hold on to it. That's why Hebrews, the 2nd chapter, he said, give the more earnest heed to the things that you have heard, lest at any time you let them slip. It's easy to let them, it's easy to let it slip. In other words, at a time when you need it, or you should be using it, you using something else, or you doing something else. And you done forgot about the word that you just was speaking last week, last month, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it was. Something you could have just read yesterday. Anybody hear me this morning? That's good, D. The 3rd verse in Psalms 9:3. Psalms 90, division, 3rd verse. He said, thou turnest man to destruction, and sayest, return ye children of men. This caught my attention this morning. This caught my attention. I want somebody to give me the book of Job real quick as I go through this. Book of Job, 1st chapter. 1st chapter. 6th verse. And then I want Job, the 2nd chapter. The 1st through the 3rd. 1st through the 3rd. Job, 1st chapter, 6th verse. And Job, the 2nd chapter, not yet. 2nd chapter. 2nd chapter, verse 1 through 3. See, it's so important. It's so important to remember. Because when a situation comes, it's too late to be trying to figure out what you're going to do. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. It's too late. But if you already have it in you, you already know. Or if it's in you and you have meditated on it and stayed in it, then it'll just come, right? Because that's what's in you. But if you haven't really dealt with it, or you haven't really swallowed it, in other words, accepted it, you haven't really put yourself in that position. Maybe that's the way to put it. In other words, when that word is going forward, I'm not thinking about somebody else. I'm thinking about me. Right? When I start reading that word, I ain't got somebody else in mind or who it might be pertaining to. I got me in mind. Because I know that fits me. Y'all with me this morning? This is what that 3rd verse says. I want y'all to catch this. Thou turnest man to destruction, and sayest, return ye children of men. Thou turnest man to destruction, and then say, turn thou unto me. Think about that for a moment. About what kind of God we serve. Why would he be turning people to destruction? If the goal, Jesus said, I came to save those that were lost, didn't he? It seemed it would seem, if you don't really take time to really ponder and really take time to meditate on it, or you might even just go right by it and not even pay any attention to it. But we living in a time, you might turn on their TV, and we was out here yesterday having a good time, wasn't we? Oh, we were laughing and joking, music going, kids sliding and playing, we eat, just having a good old time. And while we having that good old time, somebody else was in a Walmart somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah.
El Paso. I've been to El Paso. And so, here it is while we doing this. Somebody else is there in El Paso got something totally different on their mind. You ain't heard about it. I think they said 20 people got killed. More were injured. And at the same time, something in Dayton was happening. I think they said 9 people got killed there. And I would imagine all over this country and all over the world, people were still doing some hateful things. Not really concerned about love. Not really concerned about what God might be thinking. Not really concerned about patterning their lives after this book. What we're going through is not new, church. It's not new. And God's word and what he said is going to come to pass. We are living in the last days. We are. And we've been in these last days. Look at what God does and how he does it. He led men. Catch this. He turneth men to destruction. In other words, since folks won't serve him and keep moving further from him, we turn them to destruction. And we living in a time. That's why you kids need to stay focused. Y'all need to stay focused, man. I'm telling you, y'all coming up in an age where it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. If it was, his word would be true. God will still keep his people. Be sure of that. But just know the life that you're going to, the generation that you're coming up in. So now more time than any time, it's time to not just be focused on them phones and that internet. Be focused on God. Understand what his word said for you and your lifespan and what he's got going on with you. Don't get caught up in this stuff that looks like it's true and it's not. Or this stuff that looks like it's more important and it's not. Right? It ain't. It ain't. The only thing that's going to last is him. It's his word. And I'm talking about eternal life now. There's going to be eternal damnation too. That's going to be forever. But that's damnation. So, look at what he's doing to man. He's turning him. These folks are talking about what Satan is doing. You better really look at this thing. We're going to read at this in Job. You better really look at this thing. The children of Israel didn't go into bondage because of Satan. They went into bondage because of God, because of their disobedience to God, and because of them going after other gods. And so then God allowed other countries to come and take over them and put them in bondage. That wasn't Satan. He turned them to destruction. Now is a time more than any to really spend time looking at that perfect law of liberty. In other words, you need to be looking at that for yourself. You want to make sure that you're on the right side. You want to make sure you're on the right side of this thing. You don't want to get caught up and you find yourself on the wrong side. In other words, you're on the wrong team.
All right.
Y'all hear me this morning?
All right now.
God is turning. He's turning man to destruction. Folks say, If there was a God, then why would this be happening? Well, you got to understand something. Thank God that there is a God. That is a God of love, but also a God of wrath. We ought to be thankful that there is a God and a Father that knows how to save to the utmost. Even when it looks like it's all destruction. You ought to know that there is a God that knows how to get man to do what he wants man to do. See, sometimes the things going too good and too much the way we want it, then we'll just keep doing what we want to do. We're living in a world that they keep going further and further from God and His Word. And because of it, things are starting to be acceptable that's not acceptable. Folks talking about if there was a God with this, but you got to understand something. God sees everything. All things are open and naked to Him to whom He had to do. What you talking about, Pastor? God see that child that's being raised. You don't see him sometimes. But God sees it. God see the person that's being abused. You don't see it. God sees it. God see that one that's being beat down without cause. You don't see it. God do. God see the ones that puts everything else above Him, but then cry to Him when you go through something. God see. God see the one that when you could do, you don't do. And you choose other things over Him. God see. God see that when He bless you, then you take the blessing and you worship it more than you worship the one that gave you the blessing. God see. God see it that when you were sick and you was on the hospital bed and you cried out and He answered you and lifted you up. Then when you got back on your feet, you forgot about who it was that saved you. God see. So God knows how to get man's attention. Sometimes we take this thing personal. You got to understand something. God see it all. And see, didn't He say this? Didn't God form man out of the dust of the earth? Is that right? And He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Man became a living soul, right? And man, He gave man something, a woman, right? He said it ain't good for man to live alone. So He gave man a woman. And He told man to go and replenish the earth. Is that right? Now look at this thing. So God looks at man, it ain't just individually, it's collectively. And He see how man is going. You don't believe it? Go back and look at what Noah. He said God found grace in Noah, but the world He punished it. That first world He destroyed. Everyone that was not in the ark. Is that right? So what I'm saying to you is God is looking at this thing bigger and broader. And as He sees mankind moving away from Him, going opposite from His word, God only lets things go for so long. Even our individual life. Our individual life, God gonna let it go on for a certain amount of time. I say it all the time. His word said, with sin abounded, grace even more abounded. But shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound? God forbid. Because just because nothing has happened yet, don't think that it won't happen if you continue in it. No, God forbid. They that are dead in sin, how can they live any longer therein? Is that right? So God, He said, turn to destruction. We living in a time, we ain't just got in it, y'all. We ain't just got in it. This ain't the first time that folks been killing one another. That's, shoot, some of our community, we killing a bunch of folks. It ain't the first time. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It ain't like it just started, it's just getting worse. God is turning man to destruction. But He ain't doing it so man can destroy himself. He ain't doing it so that man won't be no more, per se. He's doing it for a reason. He's doing it for a reason because He's trying to get man to see I can't do it without Him. You know, sometimes things you won't change if things get too bad. Things get real bad enough, you'll change. I say it all the time, everybody got their own rock bottom. Some people's rock bottom is deeper than others. But you hit that rock bottom, and it's hard enough, it'll change you. It'll make you say, I need to stop doing what I'm doing. I need to go back to where I know there's salvation. I need to go back to where I know there's safety. I need to go back to where I know there's peace. I need to go back where I know there's prosperity. I know that there's somebody that can watch over me when I can't watch over myself. I know it's somebody that can keep my children when I can't keep my children. Somebody just went out to the store yesterday. That's all. We're going to get, that's what we were doing, right? We're taking up a list because we want to give out school supplies next week. Is that right? Well, here they are going to get school supplies, not knowing that today is going to be a different day. You're not going to leave this store. You're going to go in the store, but you're not coming out, not the way you came in. God trying to get our attention. See, here's the thing. For those that were saved, do you think they still saved? For those that were saved, was in that Walmart, do you think they still saved? They died in that Walmart, fleshly. Do you think they still saved? Yeah. He able to save the other folks, eh? So if he had you before you went in, He still got them. There's allowed it to happen. He's a just God. He reigns on the just and the unjust. Shine on the good and the evil. You think sometimes leaving here is the end of the world. We don't realize Paul said to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. It's far better to do that than this anyway. What does it do? It ain't them. If they knew the Lord, they're going to be all right. And those that's watching and know that they ain't did this thing right, they still all try, going after the wrong things, listening to the wrong people, not hearing what the Spirit is saying to the church. Look at me in Job. Read that one. Job, verse 6. Yeah. There was a day when the sons of God brought themselves before God to present themselves. See, we don't know the conversations that's going on in heaven. That's what I'm trying to get us to see. We don't understand that nothing is just happening out of coincidence. It's not happening out of coincidence. God knows exactly what's going on. And here is a day when the sons of God came before God, and Satan came too. God asked him, have you considered my servant Job? Man that's perfect, upright, one that is chewing evil. In other words, he hates evil. Is that right? And when he asked Satan where he'd been going, he said, I've been going in and out of the earth, to and fro, going back and forth, going inside not just this physical earth, but this earth here, seeing what's in folks' hearts, seeing what's in folks' minds, seeing where they stand, where they really stand at, not what they saying, but what they doing. He asked him how he considered the servant Job. He told him, Job don't serve you for nothing. He ain't serving you for nothing. But he told him you got a hedge around him. Y'all better hear that this morning. As long as he had that hedge around him, could Satan touch him? He couldn't touch him, could he? Or could Satan just say, I'ma just do to him what I want to do to him? Dad done put something on, I don't care what God said. He couldn't do it. Matter of fact, that's why he said it. He the one said it. He knew it himself. You got a hedge around him. I've been trying to get to him, I can't get to him. You got a hedge around him, and you blessed him. But if you remove the hedge, he'll curse you to your face. God removed the hedge, but he said his body you can't touch. Here's permission. But where is it coming from? It's coming from God. It ain't coming from Satan. And we know the story, what happened. Satan didn't waste no time. When he got the green light to go, he went. And he caused all kind of havoc in Job's life all in one day. In one day. What you talking about, Pastor? What Job got to do with today? Don't y'all see stuff happening in one day? Seems like it's just going to be any other day, don't it? That one day could change your whole life. One day, change your whole life. Could shake up your whole foundation. Could show you and find out what do you really believe. Job found that out in one day. All he had was taken, including his children, all except his wife. And she said, you might as well curse God and die. Job still holding on to the Lord. Still holding on to his word. Job said, the Lord giveth, Lord take it away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Read that other one. Read that other verse. Who got that? Yeah. Job 2nd chapter. Verse 1 to verse 3. Another day. God ain't finished it. Because his work ain't done yet. In other words, he's doing it for a purpose. He turned man to destruction. But he turned him for a purpose. Not just to say that, look what I did. He turned him to get man to turn back and return unto the Lord. Come on. Read it loud, brother. Yeah. So would come another day, and God asked him again, whence cometh Yah? He told him the same thing. He told him the same thing he said before. Coming from the earth, coming in and out of the earth, going through it. Go ahead. You consider my servant Job, that there's none like him. This is a holy man. There's none like him. Keep reading. Perfect and upright. What else? Fear God and eschewing evil. Go ahead. Wait a minute, read that again. And still he what? Even with all that Satan, God allows Satan to do, Job still held fast. What are you saying, Pat? I'm trying to show us something this morning. When you start going through, that ain't no time to be shaking. That ain't no time to be turning. That ain't no time to be quitting. That ain't no time to be going another way. Be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Here it is, Job lost his material things. Not only that, he lost his children. And one day, but still, he held fast. I'm still going to trust in the Lord. Yeah. See, that's what Peter was saying when Jesus started speaking about them eating of his flesh and drinking of their blood. Some of them they were carnal, they were natural minded. So when they heard it, it sounded like cannibalism, I believe. And so they left. Oh, man, that's too hard to speak for me. I ain't eating your flesh and drinking your blood. They left. But Jesus asked him a question: "Will thou leave also?" But Peter stood up and said, "Lord, where are we going to go? Where am I go? We living in a time, this ain't no time to be, where you gonna go? Shoot, this kind of stuff is happening all over this country. It's happening all over the world, really. We can just talk about where we live. Where you gonna go? I'll leave Louisiana, then I'm gonna go to Texas. Well, shoot. It's happening in Texas. Oh, shoot, I get out of Texas, I go to the West Coast. Go ahead. There's stuff out on the West Coast. Look, I'm through with that West Coast. I'm going to go to the Midwest. Go ahead. It's right there in the Midwest, too. Oh, I leave that and I go to the East Coast. Go. You're going to run right into it and be right there waiting on you. I go to the Southeast. Go ahead and go. It's going to be right there when you get there, too. Peter said something that was so profound. Oh, where are we going to go? All that stuff that's happening around us, that's for a reason. That ain't for us to, look, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Don't get numb to this news. Don't get numb to these killings, just like it ain't nothing. And then just, well, that's just how it is. That's no. Keep standing. Stand up. Stand up. Come against this. Living in a time, those in leadership, instead of leading us to the Lord, they leading us from the Lord. And look what he said. This is why you don't want to be followed behind. The blind gonna lead the blind. They both, though, gonna fall in the ditch. It ain't like it's just gonna be the leaders that's gonna fall in the ditch. Those that follow them, they going in the ditch too. Here it is another day. But Job stood fast. He held his integrity. In other words, I'm not going to follow that way. I don't care how they say what they say is all right. It ain't all right. I don't care how they say it ain't too bad. It is. I'm not doing like they're going to do. So be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You draw nigh unto him, he'll draw nigh unto us. Yes, sir. Now is the time to get closer. God had that testimony about Job. But God not only was showing people around him something, he was still showing Job something too. Because even though Job, what he knew, he did, Job still had something in him that God wanted to correct. And what Job had was self-righteous. He thought because of all that he did, that made him who he was. He didn't understand that his righteousness really was by faith. It wasn't by his work. So God had to deal with him to teach him that. But he also had to deal with him to deal with us even today. To show us how we need to do it. To show us what's really going on. You know, we think it's that Trump. Trump this and Trump that. I ain't no Trump fan. But I'm going to tell you this. Trump couldn't got it that often without God. All power is ordained of God. It is. All powers to be, they ordained of God. You couldn't got that without God. Now, if you really want to do something to change that, then shoot, you know what you need to do. Don't stand against it. Hope that God move in a different direction. And I'm going to tell you this, it didn't just start with Trump. There's been a whole lot of people that led this country that have led us over the wrong way away from the Lord. Time for us at the church to stand up and be that light. Say, let your light so shine before men, they may see your good works and glorify your Father. God trying to get man to come back to him. Let us be a part of that. Let us be a part of coming back to him and get others to come back to him. Amen. Let's do it while we can. We don't know. We don't know. We might go into a Walmart here. Some crazy nut decide today, I'm going to shoot up everything in here. One of us might be in there. We might be here this day and gone the next. So therefore, we work while it's day. Because night is coming. No man can work. That can help.